Okay, this is a video explaining the make double function that's described in the text. And so what the question was is the make double higher order function in Scheme was defined. What functions are returned by make double minus and make double divided by. And so right here we have all the information that was given in the book. So essentially what this function is, make double, is a higher order function. That's a function that can take functions and return functions. And so they can actually create new functions for you. So what these functions are going to do is this function is going to be called by a new function that in the book it shows you is defined as square and double. So we're defining a new function or binding it to make double with a multiplication sign and make double with an addition sign. So what you have to remember in this case is that both the multiplication sign and the addition sign are functions themselves. So therefore, they're the function that's going to be passed to make double for f, because, all right, let's look at make double for a minute. So here we have the entire function. This is the function make double. Here you can see that a function f is going to be passed into make double, and then a variable x is going to be mapped onto the function twice. So it's going to take a function and then send x into that function twice. So since, in this case, multiplication takes a, a variable, the variable that will be sent into square will be x. So let's just call it one time. So now if we say square and then a number. So let's say we want to get 3 squared, which will be 3 times 3, which is 9. So 3. I forgot to run it. Okay. There you go. So square 3 is 9. We can do another one just to show. Square 4 should be 16. There you go, 16. So what it's actually doing is taking the 4 that's being put into square, which has been defined as make double with the multiplication. So square is taking the 4, and that's going in for x. And then it's the function f is doing, that was passed in, which was multiplication, is doing multiplication, the variable x, which is in this case 3 or 4 for the second one. So let's just say 4. So multiplication 4, 4, and Scheme knows that multiplication 4, 4 is 4 times 4. If it was any other number, it'd just be multiplying the number by itself for square. And so very similar thing for double. When you do double, it's just adding the number to itself. So if we say double 2, it's going to do, spelled that wrong. Oh my god. Double 2 is going to just do 2 plus 2, so 4. Double 6 will do 6 plus 6, so 12. So now you can see that these are the functions. So now I will do what the question is asking, which we'll find out what functions are returned by make double minus and make double divided by. So define minus, make double minus, and let's define divided as make double divided. And so a little explanation about what this define minus and define, what all these defines are. Essentially, these are not actually creating a new function. They're just associating this function name with this function. So square is just make double with a multiplication sign, and double is just make double with a plus sign. So it's essentially like saying calling make double with plus and then a variable for x for the two inputs, but it's an easier way of doing it because you can see now you can just call the function name with the number that you want to square, the number that you want to double, and that's how that works. And so now I think I did this correctly. We should run this, and we'll see what happens if we do minus 4. And it gives you 0. So let's see what happens if we do minus 6. Well, it gives you 0 again. Now, this might seem strange, but that's actually exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Just like this is just multiplying a number times itself, this is adding a number to itself, subtracts is subtracting a number from itself. So it's doing 6 minus 6. I wonder, I haven't tried this, so let me see if this will do something. Let's see what happens if we subtract minus 5. If I'm correct, it should give us minus 10. Okay, nope, it gives 0, so it must be doing... Okay, it's doing minus 5 minus minus 5, so negative 5 plus 5, so it's actually, that's correct, it's 0. So what it's doing is it's taking the value away from itself. So now if we, let's just rerun it again so that goes away. If let's do divided. Now, following what I just learned from what all these other ones do, if I do divided 6, this should give the answer 1, because it should be 6 divided by 6, which will be 1. So if it's not 1, I'll be extremely surprised. Okay, it's 1. This is also my first time actually going through all these things. So now everything that's any number put into divided should return the number 1, because it's itself the number divided by itself, which will always be 1. 0 will probably give an error. Let's see if 0 gives an error. Because 0 divided by 0, well, 0 over 0 is 0. Nope, division by 0, right? Okay, so the reason that that's an error is because it's trying to do 0 divided by 0. So anything else, any other number that's non-zero number will give you 1. Okay, and that is how the make double function can create other functions that perform an operation twice.